Hey, how's it going, everybody? Coming at you today, video dedicated to our co-leader Tarts here, who wanted to see how to go about using both the Baby Dragon and the Wits that are available at Town Hall 9. And these are definitely very popular troops that are getting used at this particular Town Hall level. So I thought it would be a good idea to come out with a video and show you guys just exactly how to use them. I'm going to go ahead and load up our past couple wars. I've been using a strategy called Witch Slap. It's not really new. It's been up for a little while now. It's pretty effective as long as you use it against the right base. The only problem with Witch Slap is, given the troop composition, it costs pretty heavy on the Dark Elixir side. But it gets the job done, and it's not a complicated concept. Let's see. I've been using a different variation of the original Witch Slap. I believe the original Witch Slap called for healers. Thanks to the nerf that healers have gotten, I've been kind of prying myself away from them. They're not useless, but they're not as effective as they were prior to the update. So, with that said, I don't use them for Witch Slap anymore. I just go straight witches with an extra golem to make up for that space. This one was a really good example. You don't have to worry too much about funneling with this strategy, as long as you kind of spread out the witches. The skeletons kind of do it for you. You're going to want to bring some wall breakers, or at least a jump spell, to help them go in to, straight to the core as close as possible. I have trouble sometimes with getting those wall breakers to actually go in. Wizard towers make that very, very sketchy. But that's why I almost always carry a jump spell when doing Witch Slap, just in case I need it back up. This didn't exactly go according to plan. Usually, the witches will go around regardless. So a couple witches will go in, but typically the goal is to get your golems, your archer queen, and your bowlers to go to the core. But given this base design, with all the defenses being close to the outside, the rest of the troops were tanking for my queen pretty well. So she was doing a really good job of taking out that core. But again, on most typical raids with this strategy, you want to make sure that you are getting the queen as well as your bowlers and your golems to go to the core. As far as spell usage, obviously jump spells are always used to get your kill squad to go to the core. The raids and the heal spell are pretty much aiding that. I wouldn't use them on outside troops. If the outside troops die, I'd just let them die. But you definitely want to keep the core going as much as possible. As long as you start to clear out whatever's inside there, the outside defenses shouldn't pinprick your outside troops too much that are cleaning up. The only thing you gotta make sure you watch out for when using Witch Slap is it's a little bit of a time-consuming strategy. Might be wise on occasion if you're not entirely sure that the troops are going to clear out the entire base in time to save a couple wizards for the end of it. I actually had that in our last war. Ended up screwing me over. We had a weird matchup, and I was paired up against the Town Hall 10, even though it did have Town Hall 9 defenses. And because of that, I got stuck with this ugly 99% 2-star, and that was literally just because I ran out of time. I had maybe seconds left to take out a builder hut and just didn't have the extra seconds that I needed. But again, it's pretty much expected of the strategy because the spell uses is pretty much for helping them get through the core. Not exactly. There's not much of a cleanup squad aside from the witches that may have trailed off on the outside. But it's pretty common for splash damage defenses like the mortar and the wizard tower to take out witches, and that can make things rather frustrating. As far as what base to use this strategy on, it's very common to use them on very square-like bases, very symmetrical bases, but not always is that required. As you can see, this isn't exactly symmetrical even remotely, but Witch Slap still did a pretty good job of taking it out. Again, timing was the only issue. As long as you funnel it correctly, you should be fine. You want to look out for all splash damage. So like for this, all the splash damage was kind of one in one area. We have the wizard towers over here and the mortar. And on the other side, we've got the 2 wizard towers as well. They aren't on the outside per se, where they could easily take out your skeletons and your witches. They're more towards the center of where your kill squads can go. So with that said, it's easy to take out all that splash damage, and you won't have to worry about your witches dying off. That's what I would look for. I'll go ahead and play this as another example of how to go about doing it. On this one, I did use the wizards to help funnel a little bit. I wasn't really counting on them to do much. I didn't want the witches to focus too much on trying to take out that town hall, so I definitely tried my best to make sure that town hall went down. But again, on this strat, the wall breakers did end up dying off. A lot of people have been using a frustrating strategy when it comes to wall breakers lately, and they put their bombs on the outside that are meant to trigger when the wall breakers come towards them. Super annoying, but definitely you can still find your way around it if you pick up a jump spell. So again, all my spell usage is being focused on the core. Nowadays, because of the update, I've been trying my best to carry around a free spell instead of carrying a poison. I find the free spell pretty useful now since it's only one housing space. Typically, I'd use it on the most highly effective defenses like the expos. Maybe you'll want to use them on some splash damage defenses if you're going to be using Witch Slap to kind of suppress them. But it's kind of up to you on how you want to execute the raid. Go ahead and speed this up. See, as you can see, I mean, I was left with nothing but my heroes. And my heroes are strong enough to take out this base. The king did eventually come in for my queen to tank, and it helped a lot. But the problem is, with them being the only troops left, I did not have enough time to take out that last builder hut that was over here. Just seconds away from getting it. And that sucks, especially for this war, because we lost by a star, and that's freaking blows. But this is probably the most effective way I've seen witches used, at least at Town Hall 9. It's a bit of an unfortunate thing because, as I said, the strategy is very Dark Elixir heavy. I think it cost me, I want to say, about 5,000 Dark Elixir, and that hurts, especially when you're trying to save it for heroes. As you can see, I'm pretty close to maxing out my Town Hall 9. All I've got left is a few walls and then my heroes. So a Dark Elixir heavy strategy like that it hurts a little bit when you're trying to push your heroes up. but it's super effective. Um, it's a really good strategy, and like I said, it's not complicated. It's fairly easy to use. The troops kind of take care of everything for you as long as you kind of do every bit of the prerequisites, excuse me, in the beginning, as far as keeping your core alive and keeping them going towards the core. The other topic of discussion is baby dragons. Baby dragons, I haven't seen them as a main troop to be used. They're more of I wanna put as a funneling troop. For the most part, that's what they get used for. That raids ability comes in handy with helping them take out a good portion of outside buildings rather quickly. I see them quite often in queen walks. I see them quite often used for ground raids that require quite a bit of funneling. But I don't see them really at all in terms of air raids, since the raids effect loses its ability if they are surrounded by other air troops. And again, that makes it difficult to use, say, like a mass baby drag attack, because then there's no point in using them if you can't use the raids effect. Let's see. I believe... Oop, I'm on the wrong war. Sorry. Let's go back to the last one. We have quite a few people in the Town Hall 9s that use baby drags. Let's see. I think it was... I can't say I remember. Let's go ahead and take a look. Well, here, see? Will uses baby dragons. This is a Town Hall 10 attack, but it's used for the same purpose. As you can see, he's using the baby dragons to funnel, since he only has a few wizards packed in his army comp. But because of the raids effect, they do a really good job of helping your troops funnel in. They don't have the greatest hit points, so they won't last very long once they do start funneling in, but they definitely get the job done. Let's see. He probably used it in his other attack as well. No, he used a lot of it. Okay. I believe... I believe he uses it. Yes. See, now this is getting used for a Lalu raid, but for the exact same purpose. He's doing a Queen Walk Laloon, and with that said, it's pretty understandable as to why he wants to use a baby dragon to help funnel, since you want to get your queen to target very specific objectives. Whether that may be an air defense, or in this case, he's targeting the queen and getting her out of the way real fast. In addition to doing that, it helps with taking out certain defenses that will make your loons go in a certain direction. So if you did want to use baby dragons as a means for an air raid, this is probably the only way I would recommend using baby dragons for an air raid, is to funnel that queen in. Or to help funnel your loons. I know sometimes, for some of these bases, if you'll see some of these defenses on the outside that are specifically meant to throw off any defense targeting troops, and it can be rather frustrating during some raids. So if that's the means you need in order to get your defense targeting troops to go in a very specific direction, then definitely I'd recommend using baby dragons. Alright, I don't have anything else left to cover for this video. If you guys have any suggestions or anything in particular you would really like to have covered, please do not hesitate to either make a comment on my Discord channel, to go ahead and make a comment in the YouTube comments, but please make suggestions if you have them, so that way I have something to cover. The only reason why this video came out so late is because I didn't have really any content to cover. I would cover the update, but considering that the last video that came out that covered the updates didn't really have much as far as views go, I don't think that's really much of a topic you guys like to see. If I'm wrong, by all means correct me, but it seems like you guys benefit a lot more from my tutorials than anything else, and I'd be happy to explain anything that you might want to have explained. So again, leave comments in the suggested. If you haven't already, I do have a Twitter now up, specifically meant for this YouTube channel. You can leave comments on the YouTube Twitter as well. And I will be happy to cover whatever material you want covered as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, leave a like, and until next time, see you later.